Hola, mijos. I'm sorry I'm so late with the story, but I have one for you. This story is called The Whatnot Fruit. Here's the main picture. Oh, look at that. The Whatnot Fruit. You ready? Relax. Be very still and listen. Listen carefully to this tale about some travelers who arrived one evening at the edge of a village. They were tired, so they decided to stop for the night and were looking forward to a well earned rest. That is, until they discovered an exotic fruit, and suddenly everything changed. What do you think happened? Some exotic fruit? Let's find out. Setting up camp was a busy time for the travelers. They bustled around as they lifted colorful carpets from their caravans and laid them out on the ground. Then they gathered wood and built a big fire. Soon pots and pans were rattling away merrily on the fire, sending delicious aromas floating over the little camp. And when dinner was finally ready, everyone gathered together around the fire to eat. After they had eaten all their food, a little girl called Polly, one of the children of the group, turned to her mother and pointed to a huge fruit tree full of sweet and juicy-looking orange-colored fruits. "Mother," she said, "I'm still a little hungry. Please, may I have some fruits from that tree for dessert? They look so delicious." I think her dessert compartment was not full, as Devante would say. "Yes, they do look tempting, but I don't recognize that tree or its fruits. I don't You know we shouldn't eat anything we don't recognize or haven't eaten before. They could turn out to be poisonous." "But they look like big juicy mangoes," said Polly. "Well, the fruits do look like mangoes, but the tree doesn't look like a mango tree," replied her mother, "so I'm not sure. See what your father thinks." Father, can we eat some fruits from that tree, please?" pleaded Polly. Together, Polly and her father went over to the tree, and he picked one of the brightly colored fruits. He sniffed it and then let it drop to the ground. "Listen, Polly, listen, children," he said. "I know you're all tempted to eat these orange fruits, but I don't think that they're mangoes. So we shouldn't take a chance. As your mother said, we don't know what fruits they really are, so none of us should eat them." But Polly wasn't listening, and she picked up the fruit that her father had dropped. Her mouth was watering because it looked so delicious. She turned her back to the others. What harm could it do if I had just one little bite?" she thought to herself. Before anyone could notice, she had peeled back a patch of the fruit skin and bitten into the juicy flesh. It's so sweet," she exclaimed, and took another bite. Some of the other children saw her and copied her. "Polly!" cried her mother. "What are you doing?" Polly turned and faced her mother, the juice from the fruit staining her lips. I feel a little strange," she started to say, but the look of disbelief on her mother's face stopped her in mid-sentence. "You're turning orange like the fruit," her mother cried. Polly looked down at her fingers, which were gradually going bright orange, and watched, spellbound, as the carroty color spread down her legs. She was now orange from the top of her head to the tip of her toes. There were shrieks of disbelief as the other children who had eaten the fruit started to turn orange, too. No one knew what to do, as one by one the orange children fell deeply asleep. Their parents tried to wake them up, but with no success. Some of the travelers went to the small huts of the local village to ask for help, but no one answered their door. So the worried parents kept watch over their children all night. Even when the birds started to sing their dawn chorus and the sun climbed above the nearby hill, Polly and her friends still lay fast asleep and bright orange. Now, in the past, when travelers had come to this village, nearly all of them had eaten fruit from the tempting tree, which the villagers called the what-not fruit. Then, while the travelers were sleeping, the bad villagers would creep out and help themselves to all their possessions. And so it was this morning that the village thieves came to steal as usual. But this time, when they got to the camp, they were surprised to find everyone, except for a few children, awake. When the travelers saw the villagers, they asked them for help, but the thieves were so shocked that they could only ask, "How come you didn't all eat the what-not fruits? Everyone else always has." "Well, firstly, we didn't recognize the fruits, so we didn't think they were safe," replied Polly's father. "And secondly, we wondered why so much ripe fruit was left unpicked on a tree next to a village. It seemed very strange." "You're very wise, and your caution has saved you," confessed one of the thieves. "Usually once the travelers have eaten the fruit and fallen asleep, we take their things." "I know it's wrong, but we're very poor," he said, ashamed. "Well," said Polly's father, "how about making a deal? We won't tell anyone about this if you explain how to waken our children, as well as pick up all the what-not fruits, bury them, and promise never to trick people this way again. We'll be back to check." The thieves didn't want their village to get a bad name, so they agreed. "The fruit is harmless," they said reassuringly. "Your children are just in an enchanted sleep. They'll wake up in a few hours and feel completely normal." And indeed, it wasn't long before the sleeping children began to stir, and to everyone's relief, they soon returned to their normal color and their usual selves. Polly learned from this experience and always tried to listen to others' advice and to resist temptation. But she never forgot the tantalizing taste of the what-not fruit. Sometimes she longed to take a big, juicy bite again. And one day she did just that, but only in a dream. I think this one has a good moral. And this is something to really pay attention to. Just saying. If something appears too good to be true, it probably is. Though that's wise. A wise person knows that no matter how tempting something appears, it is always prudent to act with caution. So yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Okay, mijos, I love you. And I will do my best to get another story for you tomorrow night. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.